Blame Truth here, and guys, I went into Black Ops 6 today with a positive attitude because in yesterday's video, despite it being negative, I did have some good things to say. I think the gunplay in this feels good. I really like how it feels when you shoot people. Dare I say, it's one of the best feeling Call of Duties, like the actual gunplay and all that. That's one of the best feeling Call of Duties possibly ever. I'm not even just saying that. I think this game's gunplay is phenomenal. The best feeling Treyarch game, at least. And I do like the movement. It's still a little slippery. I think the slide, again, needs to be toned down. And I think that some things need to be ironed out as far as animation smoothness and just general fluidity is concerned. But overall, it is a decent thing in the game right now. On top of that, from the brief time I played the game today, I didn't really have any connection issues. Packet burst was really only at the start of the match. So hopefully that's ironed out. I would love if that was ironed out. That's one of the biggest problems with the entire franchise is packet burst. I don't really notice it any of this game. It may have happened this particular match, but I didn't really notice it in any of my matches. But then again, I was so goddamn fucking pissed that maybe it did happen and I just didn't see it. I'll have to check the recordings. But anyway, I digress. This particular match on Vorkuta or whatever, it was a funny moment. You may have seen it already. I'm holding that head glitch spot and I go to flank the enemy team and then I realize that it's not a flank at all. I am just at their C flag. Straight up, I am just at their C flag. I thought this map played pretty poorly in that there wasn't really any flow, but the more I played after this particular match, this was my first match on of the day of the session, the more I played after, the more I realized that this is literally one of the better maps in the entire game. Guys, I noticed this during the beta, and I kind of noticed this before the full release of the game when they were going over the maps, but I swear to fucking God right now, this is the worst set of maps I have ever seen in a first-person shooter game. In the comments section right now, can I get a fucking amen?
Oh, but BT, the data shows that the fan base loves every map being like shipment to
Shut the fuck up and go play Shipment then. If I wanted to play Shipment, I would play the 7 different variants in Modern Warfare 3. I don't want to play Shipment. I have played Nuketown since 20 goddamn 10. I've been playing Nuketown longer than most of the Call of Duty player base has been alive. I am sick of it. How about just good maps regardless of size? It can be done. It can be done. Overgrown from Call of Duty 4 is a big map that is good. Can we maybe go back to that? How about just mid-size maps? I'll never get sick of Raid or Slums, which is mid to small, but still, I consider that it's a middle-size map, middle-of-the-road size map. Standoff. We got Grid from Black Ops 1. We got WMD from Black Ops 1. How about just good mid-size maps? You make a couple, 3, 4, by the end of the game's life cycle, maps for the brain rot TikTok kids to spawn, die, and grind their fucking camos and call it a day. Why is every map in this fucking game the size of a postage stamp? I have never played on such absolute dreck, and this isn't dreck like Infinity War dreck. This isn't like Modern Warfare 2019 where, yeah, the maps suck, and yeah, they're terrible, and yeah, they're filled with doors, but the difference between that game and this game is at least that game had fucking routes. There was some amount of thought put into your actions as a player in that game. Regardless if that thought was like, 2 + 2 = 4, regardless of that, it was still thought. The map still had flanks. The maps had safe spaces, yes, but the maps were maps. This game's maps are so fucking abysmally bad that everyone that had a hand in making these atrocities should be fired and should never work on a first-person shooter again. And I'm sorry if that's harsh. I am sorry if that's mean, but these maps are truthfully abysmal. I had to go into private match, which they messed up, by the way. You can't just go into private match and like check out the maps. There's no bots that I saw to turn on, and if you start a private match by yourself, the game ends because the enemies are forfeiting in 20 seconds. But that still doesn't really matter because you can check out pretty much every map in its entirety in that time. I'm not kidding. One of the dumbest maps I have ever seen in Lowtown. I went to check that one out in private match because I didn't get it in an actual match-made game. It is like Shipment with 30 different lines of sight that's been flooded. I didn't play it in an actual multiplayer match, but God knows I played enough of Babylon and Payback, these maps for fucking ants. I played enough of those to know straight up that there's no redeeming this game. Oh, and I played another match on Scud! Scud! What in the fuck is a Scud? It sounds like a different word for turd, shit, feces, crap, poop. Like, why is this in the game? It is an atrocity. It is an atrocity. You will spawn and literally get shot from like 4 different directions. What in the fuck were they thinking? So we're going to transition here. Not the 2024 transition, but the transition to gameplay. I want you to tell me what the underlying issue is. I'm going to explain the outward obvious issues here, like me spawning into this guy's, line of sight within 3 seconds upon entry to the match, and it's going to happen again after I die. And then, I'm going to point out the time it takes to get into an actual gunfight from spawn. Again, spawn, just look at the sky for some stuff to shoot down. Don't see anything, dead. Spawn again. Instantly, just running into enemies. I'm getting shot in the back. I'm getting shot from the front. Dead. I spawn again. I shoot this guy in the side instantly. Like within 1 or 2 seconds out of spawn, I am in an engagement. Now, that's the obvious flaw here, right? I've been playing first-person shooters for over 2 decades at this point, okay? Here is the issue with this philosophy, this design philosophy with the maps and with just the overall spawn logic, the SBMM, what have you. This game is going to be unplayable if you are either of these things. A solo player, B, a player who is at least decent at this game. If you are either of these things, go ahead and refund the game right now and thank me later. I'm serious. You are going to regret not refunding this game because this design philosophy where you just spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. Again, it's just that Shipment kind of philosophy. This philosophy on quote unquote regular maps is going to make every map campy as shit. And you might be saying like, what? That doesn't make sense, BT. Guys, let me explain something to you. Why would I spawn and actually try to move in this game? Why would I spawn and actually try to move? Seriously. I spawn, I move, I run into an enemy instantly. Why not just spawn, ADS to a sight line with my flank covered at the back of the map? Because there are no flanks. I mean, when I say flank covered, I mean there are no fucking flanks. Why not just spawn, ADS on a head glitch, and rack up some kills? I had my most success in this game by actually not moving. But let me just backtrack a little bit where I said like this game's going to be unplayable if you are a solo player. This match is a match I joined in progress. Look at this score. This match is unwinnable. Now, some of you maybe don't care about the wins in this game and you're just there to grind camos or whatever. Guys, I have been grinding Call of Duty camos since Call of Duty 4. I have no passion for that anymore. I do it in X Defiant, but it just kind of happens, and it's like whatever. And there's no SBMM as well, so I can just use whatever I want, regardless of how good it is or how meta it is or whatever. But in this game, I cannot. There's skill-based matchmaking. So this game, at this point, may as well not even have wins and losses. I mean, look at this. This is such a one-sided match, and I constantly joined matches in progress. More and more people are quitting, like, than ever before. There is no chance whatsoever for me to do well or win in this particular lobby. I'm just thrown into it immediately after this game on Vorkuta, which I've been showing you, and it's just SBMM tuned up to an entirely new level. Once people actually kind of learn the maps, learn the meta, learn the movement or lack thereof, I am telling you right now, this will be the campiest Call of Duty of all time. This is going to be worse than Infinity Ward's Call of Duty because, yes, while you can move about, yes, while there is a lot of fast movement and you can traverse the map in like record time with how small these maps are, yes, that's all true. You're going to just run to a head glitch and camp there. Whichever team runs the head glitches and gets to the middle part of the map and shuts down the entire fucking map and starts spawn killing is going to win every fucking engagement. Like, straight up. There are no flanks, essentially. Vorkuta here is one of the better maps in the game, which is odd to say because it still kind of sucks. Honestly, it's like just big enough to where you don't really get spawn killed. At least I didn't in this match. But then again, my team was halfway decent. Of course, I get punished the 5 matches after this because I did halfway decent and I won a match. SBMM it's going to be like peanut butter and jelly. Skill-based matchmaking, along with these atrociously bad maps, is going to make this game literally unplayable. You are going to match up against full squads because there's no real protection with that if you're just 1 or 2 people, casually searching for a match. There's no protection against a full squad just locking down the entire map pool. I mean, none of these maps are that big, and the mid-sized ones are really, really bad as well. I played on Red Card, absolutely terrible. Vorkuta here, again, one of the better maps in the game. I'd still consider it pretty fucking bad. For the most part, like, there's just no flow. You run to a head glitch and you sit. This game is going to be a disaster this year, guys. I didn't want to, pass this judgment off in the beta because we only saw half of the maps. But from what I've seen in the full release here, just kind of playing around and, from what I've seen with the actual overhead map views that we got before the game came out, this is not going to be a good year. You might be in the honeymoon phase right now. You might be cursing at your monitor and saying BT, you're such a negative asshole, man. I think this game's fun. Wait until skill-based matchmaking kicks in. Wait until people get better at the game. Wait until you play this game when your party of 4 or 5, whatever, isn't on to carry you or to make things a little better. You are going to be punished. I would argue, I have seen more rage quits in this Call of Duty than I ever have before. I've joined matches or started matches where within 30 seconds, my entire team has quit. It's not going to be good this year. Mark my words. We are 2 days in, and I'm telling you, man, all downhill from here. I knew they would do this because this gunplay and this movement system and the fast-paced, less aim assist Call of Duty meta we got going on here seems good on paper, but they can never give us something so good you will not buy next year's entry. They're going to use bigger maps with more flanks as the selling point for next year's Call of Duty. Come back to this video and tell me if I'm right. They will 100% do that. I'm pretty sure they made the maps this fucking bad on purpose. And again, only downhill from here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts below on the maps. I seriously have never played maps this atrociously bad before. They are insulting. I'll see you guys on the next one. Rate, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Consider becoming a member if you really want to. You'll get some pretty neat emotes. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.